up, everybody? It's your girl, the K-pop cougar, Rao, and I am back for another video. This video is like hella overdue considering how long ago I went to these concerts. It's been over a month ago that I went to both of these concerts, but here we are. Hopefully by the time you're seeing this, that means that the vlogs of these are up as well. Fingers crossed. If they are, I'll leave them in some cards above. Please check those out. I will be going over my experience when I went to the July 9th concert in Houston for GOT7. I went to the Eyes on You tour, as well as I'll be going over my experience of the August 1st show that I went to in San Francisco to see Monsta X. So like I said, hopefully I have the travel vlogs up. I really didn't do much in Houston because one, where I was staying, there really wasn't much to do. I mean, there was a shit ton of shopping around me and this amazing mall that I have featured in that video. But other than that, it wasn't nothing to do in Houston because I wasn't trying to go a whole bunch of different places. Plus it was like bad weather. It was like raining that weekend, so literal damper on things. So the concert, we'll start with them. I'll be rating how the experience was before, the experience at the concert, and then my takeaways and what I loved about the concert after. I purchased these GOT7 Eyes on You tour tickets probably when them hoes went on sale. I think I purchased it in March. I want to say when they went on sale, I think in March is when I bought my tickets. The whole experience, it was really good. They, you know, they were really prompt about sending information out. They set up a Facebook page, kind of keeping you like, you know, up to date on the different stuff that was going on. They kind of had like countdowns to the date. It was really cool. They put out when the merchandise went on sale, where you could like pre-order merchandise and pick it up the day of the concert, as well as you could, you know, buy stuff and have it shipped to you. They had stuff like light stick, we'll get to that, t-shirt, I think it was like a little drawstring bag, there was like a dad hat, it was like some merch like that. So day before the concert, or a few days before the concert, they sent out an email like to the T, to the hour breakdown of this, how it's gonna go. They was like, you can show up at this time, P1 you'll go in at this time, P2 you'll go at this time, there's a separate entrance for P2 and P1, and blah 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 blah. What time was the high touch? P1 had the high touch. I didn't get a high touch. I really wanted it, but I didn't get it. I had P2, so I was still standing on the floor, but I didn't get the high touch. And they had it like dot 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 dot, so I was like, yes, come through, organization. Okay, get to the show. It was at the NRG Arena in Houston, Texas. Y'all know how I feel about Beyonce. So get there. Line is wrapped around the building because they said you can start getting there at 2 o'clock. First of all, it had been raining. I was in Houston, Texas. It was humid AF. I mean, I'm from the South too, but it was humid AF. Plus, it had been raining. She wasn't getting there at no 2 o'clock for a concert that went till like 7, 8 o'clock, and I couldn't go in until like 6:30. I was not for to stand outside 4.5 hours for that. No, I'm sorry. Was not for to do it. I got there a little bit after 5-ish is when I arrived. Line wrapped round the building. Me and my Uber driver, we became real cool. She and we follow each other on Instagram. She was hella nice. I'll leave something about her Instagram below. She's really cool. She does like food vlogs and stuff. Yes ma'am. But anyway, so she was like, how do you get in here? So you had to like go all the way around the building, and then like I said, it was like hella people already lined up. So I was like, okay, cool. So she dropped me off, all that good stuff. So I'm walking up, see one of the event staff. So I asked them per email, it says I'm supposed to be in some special line for P2 because we supposed to go through some separate entrance. Okay, so ask event staff. She has no idea what I'm talking about. She said just get in the line. She said the line that way was shorter than the line that way because that line was wrapped around to the front, back, whatever, side to side of the building. So she said go that way. Okay, so I get in said line. Taps person in front of me. is this the line for P2? They were like, no, we're like general admission, blah, 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 blah. And so I'm like, the seated? Because it all say general admission, all this stuff. So she was like, yeah, I think we're seated. She was like, you're supposed to be in that line over there. So there's like small line that's inside of big line. So I'm like, okay. I goes walking off. Find another event staff. Excuse me, what is that line? Okay, so I got this email that said that I'm supposed to be in a separate line because I'm supposed to go through a separate door. No clue what I'm talking about. Ask that person. Okay. Walks off, goes to next person. Ask the same thing to young lady. No clue what I'm talking about. She was like, you can go stand in line if you want to. You can go ask. Okay. So I go to that line and I'm asking now, hey y'all, what tickets y'all got? And so they were like, oh, we're did they say P1 seated, P2? Either way, that was not what my ticket was. They was like, yeah, your ticket, that's these two massive lines right here. Plus there was like this cluster fuckery of a group in the middle. So how it was set up was like the arena, it was the doors was like right here. There was like this cluster fuckery of a group that was like squished in front of the door, and then the cluster fuckery then trickled off into these massive lines that started wrapping that way around the building. So I was like, okay. So find another event staff. Me and like several other girls, we were just like, what in the actual hell? What is going on? Where are we supposed to be? So dude finally was like, we have no idea what's going on. From what we've been told, y'all just need to get in these two massive ass lines and they'll sort y'all out when y'all get on the inside. That ain't what my email said though, sir. But okay, cool. So I go back to the lesser of the evils. So I go to it had got long by now with me traipsing around, but it was not still as bad as the line that was wrapped around to the other side of the building. So get in line, end up meeting two really great girls. Their name was Susan and Lynn. Shout out to y'all if y'all are looking at this video. They were my line buddies. We stayed together and all that stuff like that. And so we were in this line. Keep in mind, we were supposed to go in at like 6:30. Nah, fam, that didn't happen. High Touch was supposed to event at like 5:30, 6 o'clock. Nah, fam, that didn't happen. I think they said that they got that High Touch at like 6:30, 7 o'clock. We was like, y'all really rush these boys to do this High Touch right before they supposed to perform? Okay. So after that, we were watching JB. He was doing V Live while they were backstage right before the show. Some of the staff, they were up on top of like the building, like video recording us, having us wave. There was a drone flying around. It was all kind of pre-show shenanigans. So it finally gets to the point where we're about to start walking in. Keep in mind, it was like hella hot. They had like this ginormous like water jug. People were falling out because they had been out there so long. I'm sure they didn't eat. I'm sure they weren't hydrated. So you had people that were like passing out. It was all types of bad. So yeah, so it gets to the point where we finally are going in. They've opened the doors. That went actually smoother than I thought it was going to be. Once you got up there, you showed them, of course, your ticket if you had it on your phone. Mine was on my phone. Or if you had it, whatever. They scanned it, and then they told you which way to go once you were on the inside. Once I got in, me, Lynn, and Susan, we just went straight through because, like I said, we were P2, so we were standing like down where the court would be in the arena. So once we were in, it was really cool. Like I said, it had some few minutes where before the show started, of course, you know, the usual before, you know, concerts, trying to get everybody in, all that blase blase. So the actual show was amazing. You couldn't tell at first from where we were standing. I mean, we had a good distance. I'll try to insert some clips from the concert. Hopefully I was able to get some of those into my actual vlog as well. But when we first got in, it looked far, but at the same time, they were like, okay, this is good enough I'll be able to see. Couldn't tell until the show actually started that they had like a runway in the middle of P1, and then there was another stage that was like right in front of P2 where I was, where they would come out. So there were moments where the boys got pretty close to us. die. It was great. It was amazing. They sounded amazing. They looked amazing. Shout out to these costumes they had on, the storyline, how everything flowed. The majority of the time, Bam Bam talked, which was hilarious to me, that Bam Bam was like mostly the one that would talk. Him and Jackson. Jackson probably talked the second most, and then the third most that talked was Mark, which again is hilarious to me considering, Mark, you're the American, but you know, whatever. So Bam Bam was the one who would talk the most. Sometimes they had to reel Bam Bam back in because, you know, my baby, he go a little left and then he make an inappropriate comment, or he be about to say something inappropriate, and they have to like steer the whole conversation another way, or they have to bring it full circle back to what they supposed to be talking about. But the other guys, even though they're not strong in English, all of the guys would say something. They would talk, but the majority of the time the ones who talked was Bam Bam, Jackson, and Mark. It was hilarious how they would like interact with us. There was at one point where Bam Bam said something, and of course the whole crowd, we did easy, and he looked shocked. He was like, and he started laughing. Jin Young savaged us because there's a section where it's like about a drama, and Jin Young supposedly wrote it, and so Bam Bam was like asking like what was all the guys like favorite dramas, and they were telling their favorite ones, and so he was trying to get Jin Young to like do a line or do a snippet from like a drama and stuff like that. And so we started chanting. We were like, Jin Young, Jin Young, Jin Young, Jin Young. How he savaged the fuck out of us. He was like, I know my name. We was all like, damn, you don't do us like that. He was like, yeah, I know my name. I'm still not gonna do it. And he didn't. It was hilarious that Jin Young savaged us in only the manner that he can. So like I said, the concert went on. They sound great. It was so much fun. They were so hyped. They were so interactive with the crowds. Unfortunately, you did still have some moments where people kind of like passed out in there because it was kind of hot, and then toward the end of the concert it was freezing in there because they had turned that air conditioning on Arctic hell, and we was like, it's cold in here. It's real cold in here. And it was so funny because at the end of the concert, the guys kind of like, they kind of apologized about just the whole situation of how everything was outside, you know, with the whole clusterfuckery and the confusion. They, you know, they were just apologizing for everything. That's like, just forget about everything that happened before. We're still going to give you an amazing show. So all of that does not matter. They were completely professional about it, and they were just, you know, thanking us for coming, standing in the rain, standing in the heat to see them, and it just meant so much to them. And then being at that concert, they was like, they got the air con in here. They was like, please don't get sick for us. We was like, they was like, go home, drink you some tea, get on some blankets. They was like, please don't get sick because of us, but we really do appreciate everything that y'all went through just to see us. So that was so touching for them to like say that to us. I think that was pretty much the show. Like I said, everything went great. There was some mishaps, or there were some things that happened with like Young Jay's like mic and some audio issues that he had, and you could kind of tell that it was frustrating Young Jay because you could kind of see it on his face, but he was still trying to like push through and give an amazing show. But you could kind of tell that Young Jay was like over it, like this shit. So other than that, but he did great. He sounded great. They were all amazing. That was the end of the concert. Afterwards, Lynn and Susan, they actually invited me to go to dinner with them and one of their friends. We went to this great Korean restaurant. It was real authentico and all that stuff. It was delicious. I had some type of spicy brisket ramen. It was so much damn food I couldn't even eat it all, but it was great. And then she had also got some tteokbokki. It was so good. Oh my god, it was so good. But anyway, so that was the Eyes on You. Disclaimer, no, we'll talk about that at the end, about the whole light stick situation, because yeah, I'll compare that with the Monsta egg situation. All right, so that was the Eyes on You tour in Houston. I would love to see GOT7 again. I really enjoyed it. They're so much fun. And I mean, Jackson took his shirt off. Bam Bam, ooh, they just real fine in person. Ooh, JB, okay, we going left. All right, So yeah, they looked like what I expected GOT7 to look like, which was beautiful. They sound great. They were funny. Yeah, it was everything I expected of GOT7. All right, fast forward to onward to San Francisco for the Monsta X concert. Okay, they were not as organized as the first group. I can't remember which entertainment company did the GOT7. I really can't remember, but I definitely know Powerhouse was over the Monsta X concert. Communication, terrible. When I bought the ticket and stuff like that, I did not get a confirmation that my ticket was purchased. The way I obviously knew it was because I saw it on my bank statement. I was just like, can I get an email confirmation? Can I get something? I didn't know how I was supposed to get this ticket, when I was supposed to get this ticket. I had to email them. They eventually emailed me back. It was like, oh, BT Dubs, we're mailing it to you. Okay, shout out to y'all having a paper ticket. You got to mail to your girl. That ain't safe sounding. But I did get the ticket well in advance. It was in a safe place in my house. So had that. Like I said, they would send out notifications about when you could buy merch. They kind of had a Facebook page too about stuff. Now, as the concerts started happening here in North America, they were like, about certain cities, they were like, hey, don't show up before this time. Staff will be there. This is how you'll get your wristband before, all this stuff like that. There is no special queue lines, all this crap. La la la. Then, like I said, for some of the Texas cities, they was like, hey, it's supposed to be hot as fuck. Be careful. Don't show up early. All this stuff like that. Okay, so we're like, okay, good. They're kind of telling like each city what to expect, what to do. We're getting days and days and days closer to the San Francisco show, and they have not said not zip about the San Francisco show. So even like some of us were on the page like, hey, San Francisco, what we doing, what time we get there, how we doing this, what's good, all that stuff. They never updated anything about San Francisco. We had no idea what time was high touch. We had no idea what time to be there. I think the ticket might have said what time the doors were supposed to open, but I don't remember. So we knew nothing. So again, I showed up about 5:30ish. So walked up to the door. I eventually asked the event staff, hey, it said that I'm supposed to get a wristband or something like that from what the other show. So they was like, oh yeah, you need to walk in to the front door at this table. They got you. So I go up to the security because it's the metal detector, and I was like, I'm supposed to get a wristband, and they were like, oh, okay. Walks in. They ain't checked me in the first. Okay, that's fine. So get my wristband, go back outside. There's a line this way of a whole bunch of people, and then it's like a line this way that looks like it's like kind of snaking going in this direction. Event staff, hey, I have this type of ticket. Do you know where I'm supposed to go? I think you're supposed to be over there. Okay. Again, nobody ever knows what the hell is going on. So I asked some of the girls in the line, I was like, what line or what ticket are y'all? So they were like, oh, we're P1. And they were like, which ticket do you have? And I was like, I'm P2. They were like, oh, you're over there. Okay. So I go over there. I'm standing in this line. I'm asking people, what line are y'all? So everybody's like, we're general admission. We're this, we're this, we're this. And I'm just like, so we just all mixed in. And they were like, we really don't know. Again, there's a line inside of a line. And so I'm like, so who are those people? No one knew. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go find out. So I go back up to the front to one of the event staff, and I'm asking, I was like, do you know where this ticket or what is going on? And like, oh yeah, you need to be in that line. How do I get to that line? They were like, oh, you have to go around the side, through the woods, over the bridge to grandmother's house to get to that line. And I'm just like, okay. So I had met two more girls. I eventually unfortunately lost them because they actually were in a different section from me, but I made them stand in line with me. It was cool. So eventually did find out that P2 was the line inside of the line that I had to go stand in, which it didn't take as long to figure that whole situation out, because they actually did have that separated, where P1 was over here, P2 was the line inside of the line, and then everybody else was in this massive line that wrapped around the building. So we were standing there. Time eventually did come for it to be let in. That was a completely smooth transaction as well, about getting everyone in. Once you went in, if you had pre-ordered merch that you were supposed to pick up, you could go get that. They of course had a table where you could buy merch, but then the pre-order merch, they were at a different station, so it wasn't quite a clusterfuckery situation, which was really good as well. They came completely prepared for the pre-ordered merch for that, and then they told you to go in. This theater was really nice. It was kind of obviously smaller venue than the NRG Arena. This was more like an actual like auditorium style venue. It was really cool. I was standing, it was like these different tiers, and then there was a balcony that was like above us that was like seated. They did not play, their security did not play. If you went slightly over some tape and you looked like you was standing a little bit in the aisle, this girl came for me about 3 times. I'm like, ma'am, you see all these people right here. I'm trying not to be smushed, but okay. But she made sure that we stayed within that tape. If you were recording, there was, I mean, people would still record sections, but security, they were walking around. They did not play about you recording during Monsta X's sets. I was only able to record one thing, and that was something that I absolutely had to get, and that was my baby Juhan singing with Shonu when they did Versace on the Floor. I'm sorry, I had to get it. More than likely it's in my vlog. That was really the only thing that I really wanted to record, because I wanted to watch everything else, but I had to get Juhan singing. Sweet baby Jesus, he sounds so good. I forget Juhan can sing, but he reminded me that he could. Yeah, he was great. They all looked so good. Them costumes that they had on, especially their opening numbers, were so blingy and electrifying. Yeah, when they did Beautiful and all that stuff from the beginning, yeah, they looked great. The 3 units that they did, amazing. Hungwon got to see a sliver of Hungwon's stomach during his set with I Am. He's so fine. But yeah, so they sound great. Loved that they are how you see them on YouTube and other things when they're on TV. That is actually how they are. How playful they are with each other, how they tease each other, how they interact. That is really how they are. It was so cute to see how they interact with each other. Now, one thing, of course, the only member that really comfortably speaks English is I Am. So I Am would talk a lot, but of course all the guys, they would want to talk and interact with the crowd as well. They would attempt to say things in English, and they were like, I hope I said that right, or they'd be like, did that make sense? And we'd be like, yes, we understood what you meant. But instead of them having like a couple of members that would do the majority of the talking, all of them would talk, but they spoke in Korean. So what they did was they had an interpreter. His name was Daniel. He was sitting on the side of the stage, and basically they would say whatever they wanted in Korean, and then Daniel would turn right back around and he would interpret, and he would say it in a microphone in English. And it was so funny because I was like, I thought it was I Am at first, and then I was like, who is speaking in English? Who's interpreting for them? And then that's when they was like, give it up for our interpreter, Daniel. We was like, oh, okay. You could kind of see him sitting at a table on the side of the stage. So that was really cute. Like I said, there was at one point where they would like say something in Korean, and then Daniel would interpret it, and then they would come around and say something in English, because there was something that Hungwon wanted to say to us, and so Daniel translated. He's like, now I'm going to say it in English. And so Hungwon, he was like trying to hype himself up. He was like, and so he said it, and so it was like little pieces, and we was just like, you can do it, come on. Okay, we got you. And so he was just like, I hope y'all understood that. And we was like, we got you, Hungwon. We knew what you, we picked up what you was putting down. We know what you was trying to say to us, Hungwon. So that was really cute. Wonho, of course, lost his shirt at the end. Who told him to take his shirt off? Of course, the members, they had to get on him about his shirt. It was at one point, Minhyuk was taking the confetti that had fell out the sky, and he was trying to put it over one whole nipples like pasties, and so one whole was like trying to swat him away, and he was trying to like cover up his nipples with the confetti. It was hilarious. Just only Monsta X, they would, you know how they are. That's how their personalities are. But the high touch was after, so they were like, okay, P1, P2, y'all stay where y'all at, everybody else, y'all get the fuck out. So we was like, oh, okay. So we were literally just sitting in the auditorium while they were clearing out everybody else. Of course, the boys, they went backstage. I'm sure they probably you know, cooled off, toweled off, maybe ate a little something. Now keep in mind, this concert ended at like 10:30 p.m. And the high touch was after, and it was a good maybe 45 minutes to an hour later when they kind of started the high touch, because some event staff, they came back once they had all the other P3s and up, they had them cleared out. Then they started like forming this line that was like wrapping through the auditorium. She ain't standing no line. She gonna sit in this chair. When I see that line dying down, she'll get up. Me and this other girl, we was in the same boat. We was like, I feed her. We've been staying this whole time. I'm gonna sit right here until I see that line starting to get a little bit shorter and that line is moving. And that's what I did. It was going fast, because once it actually started, because how they did it, I thought they were going to be up on the stage, but there was like this like black curtain situation on the other side of where, like going toward an exit of the auditorium, and so they were standing over there where you couldn't see them until you actually got close to them for the high touch. So one of the security guards, she came, she's like, y'all might want to go ahead and start getting in line, because it's going really fast and you don't want them to like think that it's like going slow or there's not that many people and they like end it. And we was like, they better not end it, because I paid for this. I paid to touch them. I'm gonna touch them. So says talk shit in my head, but then gets up and gets in line. So got up. Man, it was this fine security guard. He was talking to me because I had on like this like ear cuff situation, and he thought it was like a whole bunch of different piercings. When he told me that it was sexy, young man. Okay, so go about my business, get away from fine security guard. And so as I'm getting closer and closer, I'm starting to get like a little nervous, but at the same time I'm like, stay calm, because my whole thing, everybody who's ever said anything about a high touch, they blacked out after like a member or two. Like it was somebody that just completely mind swiped them and fucked them up, and they just completely forgot the whole rest of the high touch. Now I will say that I think at one point I did kind of like black out. Like I think it was like so overwhelming for me that I did kind of forget afterwards, and then I had to go back and like make myself remember like the order of the high touch and what happened and what all I remember. But at the same time, I think I was just so shook that I still got slightly mind swiped, even though I told myself not to. I was trying to stay calm so that I could remember each and every member, but I think I still got mind swiped. Before I went, I don't know why, even though he is not my bias, I was so scared about seeing Hongwon in person. He is beautiful online, his lips, he tall. I was so scared about seeing Hongwon. I felt like if anybody was gonna mind swipe a bitch and I was gonna forget the whole high touch, I felt like it was gonna be Hongwon. So again, I was trying to stay calm, I was trying to stay focused. So as we're walking, we're going, it eventually gets to the point where you're getting closer and closer, and I could see them, and I was just like, okay, whew, we can do this, we can do this, we can do this. So I walk up, first person was Keon. Keon's smile was so pretty and so genuine. He was like, hey, how are you? And I was just like, hi, Keon. Touched his hand, he kind of, you know, did me like that, and so I was like, oh, he got a hand. And so after Keon was Minhyuk, he was kind of like playing with his hair. It was these two girls that had on onesies, like teddy bear onesies, so they were kind of like thrown off by them, but they eventually would come back to the people after that. So he was kind of like, Minhyuk at first, he was kind of like talking to them, but then he got back, and so he like gave me a high five and he smiled at me. And then after Min Hyuk was Wonho. Wonho, he's really pale. Like, I mean, I knew Wonho was pale, but Wonho was like really pale, but he was really cute, and his ears, oh my god. And so he kind of did me like that, and I was just like, Wonho, oh, you real cute. And then next to him was Shonu, and Shonu did the smile, because he was smiling actually at the girl in front of me, but it was still there. Shonu did the smile with his eyes disappear. Oh, the crescent moon smile, the crescent moon smile. And I was just like, oh, he did the smile when he looked like that seal. And I was just like, oh, Appa, oh no, Shonu bear, Shonu bear, oh goodness. And so he gave me a high five, and I was just like, oh my god. And then after Shonu, it was who? Hyungwon. Oh my god. When I say it was like he was already waiting, like looking at me with this smile on his face, and I was just like, oh Jesus, Hyungwon, oh god. And then all the rest of the guys, they were kind of like facing forward, but Hyungwon, he was kind of like steady, like turned like this, and I was just like, oh god. And then as soon as he like got to me and the girl that was in front of me, he was just like smiling. I was just like, damn, he fine. Oh no. And then that's when we got to him, and he had his hand out, and so we gave him the high five, and then he kind of waved like that. And then after him was I.M. I'm gonna talk about I.M. in a moment. It was I.M. and so I.M. was like, what's up? And so he gave high five, and I was just like, Maknae, if you don't calm, okay, calm down, Maknae. And then the last person was my baby Juhan. Juhan was shorter than I expected him to be. I don't know why I thought Juhan was gonna be a little bit taller, but him and they was about the same height, but maybe because they was also right after Hyungwon, and Hyungwon looms over these motherfuckers. And so yeah, my baby Juhan was last, and I made sure that I embedded Juhan in my mind. But Hyungwon, he fucked me up. But back to I.M. So like I said, I.M. is the one who feels the most confident speaking in English, so he would talk quite frequently throughout the show. I don't know if it was just because of him being back in America, or if this is just how his personality really is, but I.M. was so motherfucking swaggy the whole show. Like how he was talking, it was at one point, I don't know if his Boston, his what came out. He was explaining the words behind the rap that he did for him and Hyungwon's set, and he started like talking, and he was doing his hands like this, and he was like, I mean, he literally said, so yo, it was like, and I was like, you feel me, yo? And we was like, oh, I am. All his swaggy came out when he was talking. He was talking like this. He was slapping them hands. He said, yo, so like for real, yo, y'all feel me, yo? And we was just like, we do, we do, I.M., we do feel you. And he was kind of like exuding that swagginess during the high touch, and I was like, oh, I.M., you don't affect me normally, but I.M., he got to me during that concert, and I was just like, wait a minute, Maknae, wait a minute, these goddamn Maknaes is getting real out of hand these days. I don't understand these Maknaes. They need to calm their asses down, because they need to stay in their Maknae lane. That's all I'm gonna say. I was here for Juhan and Hyungwon initially, but I wasn't ready. So yeah. So after that, was waiting on my Uber. My Uber got lost a couple of times. It was cool. Ended up talking to these two dudes that was like breaking down and trying to give everything. It was some fine-ass men in San Francisco. Oh my god. Because my boy that was after it, that was trying to like make sure I was safe while I was slightly standing in this alley waiting on my Uber, because he had to circle the block a few times. He was like this, he was kind of short, but he was like my complexion, and he had a nice like put together beard, and he had waves that made him seasick. And I was like, what your name is, shawty? He was real fine. It was nice looking men in San Francisco. I had this one Asian dude that was my Uber driver when I went on this excursion. He was fine and swaggy AF. I was just like, what the fuck? Do I need to move to San Francisco? Because yeah, it was this one dude when I was sightseeing. He was walking from work. He had like these blonde dreads that he had, you could tell that they were professionally done, and they had almost made like this crown on his head, and he had like this paisley button down and like these like walking shorts and some loafers on a bag. And I was like, yes sir, yes sir. So yeah, I'm going completely off of this topic of this video. Y'all know how your girl do. But yeah, it was nice of me in San Francisco. She peeped. She was peeping. But yeah, so the last thing that I want to discuss after my whole experience, oh, what I forgot to mention about the high touch, their hands. I don't know what moisturizer, shea butter, paraffin wax treatments, massages, I don't know what they doing, but when I say all their hands was so soft, like I didn't understand how a man's hands be that soft. Whose hands I remember being the softest? Keon hands felt like butter. Keon hands were so soft. Surprisingly, Shonu's hands were really soft. Of course, Hungwon's hands. Hungwon looked like his hands soft. Hungwon's hands were so motherfucking soft. I was just like, what? I want to ask, what products? What in the shea butter? What are y'all using? What kind of hand cream are y'all using? And my baby Juhan hands were so soft. I was like, what are y'all using? Y'all hands soft AF. So yeah, their hands felt like butter. Butter. That's all I'm gonna say. That's it. Left. That's all I had to say left about the whole Monsta X experience. It was amazing. Their show was so great. The crowd energy, oh my god. So both concerts, I was just like, I'm deaf. Especially when I left the GOT7 concert. I swear I thought I was deaf. My ears was ringing so bad after that GOT7 concert. But Monsta X, I was so hoarse the next day from how much we had been hollering, not hollering, not screaming, hollering at that damn concert. And then of course when they did Shine Forever, of course all of us knew that first little snippet of I.Am's verse, you know, one and only, like Harley, I'm blinded by the bright light of your beauty. So of course we did that, and it was so loud. And Juhan said something about that. He was like, so while y'all did his verse, but he's like, what about me? And so we was all basically like, but his is in English, that's why. And so he was talking about, so I.M was like, hey, y'all do my part. And so he played, he made them like play it. And so we did it. Once that part was over and it went into Korean, it went silent, all of us started laughing because they knew, like, we say that part confidently because it's in the language we speak. That's why we yelled it out. And so Juhan he was like kind of acting like he was a little salty, or he was acting like his feelings was hurt because we all had did like I.Am's part like really, really loud. But I mean, there was several times that we like did Juhan's parts, like, yeah. Anyway, I digress. Again, that was it about the concerts. Like I said, both were amazing, amazing shows. Just to see them in person, it was great. The energy of the crowds. I definitely cannot wait to go to another concert. So yeah, okay. So the whole situation about light sticks. So both companies that did the concerts or did the tickets for the concerts, they had sent out notifications prior to that you could buy merchandise. Okay, so I wanted light sticks. They both said they have light sticks. I didn't pre-order anything for GOT7 because they said you could buy everything there, but I did pre-order for the Monsta X, and I picked it up while I was there. Okay, so for the GOT7, when I saw light stick, I got hella excited. I thought it was going to be the little green baby bird. Should have known when I saw that bitch was only $15. Okay, so it ended up, of course, not being the official light stick for GOT7. It was like a specialized light stick that they did for the Eyes on You tour. So once we got there, of course we're in this line and it's taking forever. There's a lady from the event who is literally walking up and down the line with like boxes of light sticks and was like, y'all want one? She had a thing on her shirt that said $15 and we was like, give me one of them light sticks, shawty. So this was the light stick. I don't know if you can kind of see what it says. It just says GOT7 2018 World Tour, Eyes on You in North America. So this was the light stick that was $15. Of course there were people who had the official light stick that was there, but if you didn't, you could purchase this one. It still glows green, so you could have your ocean of green. So it did that, so it still worked out fine for the event. Really wish I could have got their official light stick, but this works just as well. So like I said, it still held its purpose. They also had this like thing that they did before where you could do the banners where you could like hold them up. They were giving these out. Oop, my lights. Okay, there we go. So you could do these, which was really cool because there are some of the songs on the back. It's Look, You Are, and Never Ever. And they wrote the fan chants. I don't know if you can see this or not. Oh, it's so blinding. But anyway, so you can kind of see the lyrics. But they put the fan chants on here so that we would know what to say during those parts of the song. So I thought that was really cool that they did that for this concert, that for those 3 songs they had the fan chants where you could see them. Also, since I was a P2, P1 they got like the high touch and some type of special merch, but then P2, did I say P1 or P2? Anyway, P1 got the high touch and something. P2 for GOT7, we also got merch, which ended up being just this lanyard. This was what they gave out before. So this came, and that was what I got for P2 at the GOT7 concert. So for Monsta X, I did pre-order the light stick because they were selling the official light stick. So when I got there, of course I was able to pick it up. I was like, does this come with batteries? My boy was like, I got you. I was like, y'all better be prepared, handing me my 3 AAA batteries with my light stick. Yes sir, because you want to make sure I use this mug now. So this is the box that it came in. Their box is so cool. It's like this cool geometric shape situation, but this was the box that it came in for the Monsta X light stick. And then of course this is the light stick. It has their name. It says Monsta X around the base of it. Of course it has their emblem on top. It's really pretty with the sparkly, and of course it's got their little crown. It did come with the strap. Of course the strap says their name as well. You click the little button, and of course it's that one glow. I don't know if you can really see that. Then you have the one that will do the epileptic seizure type situation. And so yeah, so I had my light stick and everything during the concert. So yeah, so this was the Monsta X. I was really excited that they did the official light sticks because I really wanted one. I was about to hit this little girl. Side note, so these little girls got real pushy at this Monsta X thing. Baby, I understand you can't see and you about 4 foot nothing, but get off my back. When I say that little girl was all up on my shoulder, and I at one point had to do her like that and then give her the mom eye, and she was like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Back up, shawty, back up. We all can't see. Rude. But anyway, that was the only like thing that was about the Monsta X concert. I was just like, little girl, if you don't get off my shoulder, we gonna know something. Other than that, I was just like, you want to get right here? You want to? She was like, no, baby, come on, because you gonna get on my nerves. Get in front of me. You shorter than me, I can see over you. Come on. So yeah, that was the only thing. I turned into mom mode. I was like concert mom. I was just like, you know what? Come stand right here. Come stand right here. You'll be able to see. Look straight through there. You see him? All right. I can see through this little crevice right here. before I have to push your little ass out the way. But anyway, other than that, I had fun. They had great energy. Both concerts were amazing. Again, I can't wait till I go to my next one. So yeah, that has been my Eyes on You and Monsta X World Tour. My recaps of the situations. Hope you enjoyed it. If so, give your girl a thumbs up below. If you went to either one of the concerts, tell me how your experience was. What did you love about it? What was you just like, come on now, like what could they have done better? Because these companies, like, are they this organized in Korea? I hope not. But anyway, just let me know what was the good, the bad, the ugly about your experience. If you went to either concert, what city did you go to and did you love it? How was it there? And yeah, just let me know in the comments below. Also, please subscribe to my videos because I'm on my road to 1K, trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I think we can do it. So in order to do that, I need you to click that red subscribe button, and then right next to it, click that bell, because that bell lets you know when I upload my shit. All right. And yeah, you just share the video. Share it to the masses so that more people will subscribe. All right, good looking out. And that's it. You can watch this video here. It'll be greatly appreciated. And I'm gonna move on to my next video. Y'all know me, I binge on recording on the weekends, so y'all gonna get a lot of videos of me looking like this. I did my makeup for y'all. Y'all welcome. All right, so I'm gonna go. I'm your girl, the K-pop cougar. Row.